the Elucent products are truly, made to be effective. They really contain the optimum level of active ingredients to have the best effect on the skin, and yet they truly are very affordable.
How have you been able to harness the power of cosmeceutical grade efficacy and then made it available at, a price point that is really affordable?
Well, I think it's really a matter of where you're putting your priority. We're really trying to bring out products that people can use, people can, that make their skin, protect their skin firstly, protect their skin from the sun, protect their skin from aging. And I think we're really focused on doing the best job that we possibly can. A lot of the work that we put into the product, of course, is really understanding the science, really understanding the active ingredients and what level of active ingredients needs to go into the product to have the scientific effect of that ingredient.
What in your field of study and what in your clinical reviews of all the ingredients that are available, what is the gold standard 4 or 5 key things that we should be looking for in skincare, whether it's your skincare or any other skincare? If you were to give our readers and listeners advice, what would it be?
Well, the first one, of course, is the alpha hydroxy acids. The alpha hydroxy acids are just so important to anti-aging skincare products. What they do is that they penetrate into the skin and they actually dissolve what's called the desmosomes, which is the linkages between the dead skin cells. And that means that the dead skin cells are free to float to the surface and slough off the surface. And that leaves the skin much more viable, much more fresh. The more sensitive your skin is, the more slowly you should start. And if you're having no problems, then certainly move to using them. And the more often you can use them, the more you will be, taking the dead skin's layer off and asking the skin to regenerate from the bottom. And that just makes the skin look much nicer, much fresher. It evens out pigmentation and just gives that dewy, hydrated effect that you want on the skin.
Absolutely, definitely the number one concern for this market is pigmentation and sun damage. So I assume that the Even Tone range is really squarely addressing the issues of hyperpigmentation, skin unevenness. And so I'd love you to talk about that and why you developed an entire range just to address.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. Well, the Even Tone range is to really help even out the pigmentation, which just sort of brightens the skin. And so, what the science says is that if you can slough off the dead cells and if you can generate new cells within the skin, then the melanin becomes more evenly spread over the skin. So just that sloughing off of the dead skin cells, generates the new cells coming up, and you get that brightening effect on the skin. So once again, alpha hydroxy acids are the base, but also the other ingredients like the niacinamide and the vitamin E, they all help to make the skin resilient by making it moisturized and supple. The other thing, of course, that's very, very important is to protect the skin from the sun. And therefore, the Elucent anti-aging day cream, or the Elucent Even Tone day cream.
This is my favorite product from the range, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's my favorite, easily. Yeah. It's so nice. It's not sticky. It's great under makeup. Yeah. You don't even think
and
about
it's a great SPF 30 product.
So I put it on my daughter as well. She loves it. She doesn't get that horrible sticky feeling.
Yeah, really, really good protection in a really cosmetically elegant product. And while you're protecting yourself from the sun, you're also getting the advantages of the anti-aging effect on the skin. So just a terrific product to have.
What do you do to look after your skin, and what do you recommend are the steps that are necessary, and what do you, in your scientific recommendation, think is a waste of time?
My skin regime is, as you can see, Elucent. You know, I use all the Elucent products all the time. I start off with the cleanser. I use the Elucent day cream every day. I never go into the sun without sunscreen. Of course, in summer, whenever I'm outside, I try to wear a hat and cover my skin as well. I use the Elucent night cream. I use the Elucent eye cream.
Do you believe in eye cream? You've obviously made one because you believe in it, but tell me why you recommend eye cream, because I get this question all the time. Can I use my moisturizer under my eyes? Is it really very different? Why would you pay so much for a little bit of cream when you can get this much cream? Tell us, please.
Well, a couple of reasons. The eye cream has been made specifically for the eye area, and what we have done with the product is that we have made it so that it's very soft and very gentle, so you can put it around the crepey skin of the eye and not cause any trauma to that skin.
Can I ask you about antioxidants, whether topical or ingestible? Again, from a scientific perspective, could you explain to us what they are, and do you have antioxidant ingredients in your skincare ranges?
Well, I believe that vitamin C acts as an antioxidant, and really what they're doing is they're just absorbing free radicals that could cause damage in the skin. And I think it's the same. I think that if you're taking antioxidants into the body, what you're doing is hoping that they're absorbing the free radicals that are likely to cause cell damage. So yeah, that's I can't comment on systemically. I don't know how effective they are. Yeah, yeah, I think that's that's the reason you incorporate them, that you're just trying to absorb anything that's likely to cause damage to the cells.
Let me ask you about the manufacturing process. And again, going back to the fact that, you know, you've managed to launch Elucent into a very skincare oriented market, a very difficult market in that, you know, our rules and regulations are quite stringent, and yet you've won so many awards and you've been regarded as, you know, a hugely innovative laboratory for skincare. What do you think is the most important innovation of the past, say, 10 years in skincare technology? And my second part of the question is, what are you excited about going into the future that you're seeing and playing with at the moment in your laboratory?
Well, I do think alpha hydroxy acids are really, really important. I think they have been around for 20 years, but you're allowed to use them without prescription, and they're very effective. So I think that that's wonderful. I think that the niacinamide has been a more recent innovation, and I love to follow the science of these ingredients. What I think is really important is you stick to the scientific claims that you're able to make. I think that
no BS, no BS.
no BS, that's right. The products have to be underpinned by science, that the products have to do what they say they do. The ingredients have to be at the active ingredient level that is supported by the science. I think that that's really, really important. And then in addition to that, it's really important that the products themselves are tested. And this is one thing that I think it's people are often surprised that, you know, that they think that all products are tested. But if you look into it and you look into the information those companies are giving, the testing hasn't necessarily been done on that product.
Speaking of stability and transportation, how long from when we buy product do you recommend for skincare, in particular active skincare? How long should we keep it before we consider throwing it out and starting again?
So here's a trick. A quality skincare product will actually have an expiry date on it. So look for an expiry date. Now, an expiry date should tell you that the product has been tested in stability trials to justify that expiry date. So you're looking at a better skincare product if it's got an expiry date. So the expiry date should tell you that the stability trial has been carried out, and at that 3-year time point or that 5-year time point, the product is still, nice to use. Okay, so look for an expiry date on a skincare product. Probably once you've opened a skincare product and you've used the skincare product, you should really try to be using it up within 6 months and 12 months at the most. Because although products are preserved so that they should stay bacteria free as you use them, the more time and the more times you dip into it and the more time there is, the more time that there is to get contaminated. So you're probably, after you open it, 6 to 12 months should probably be all that you keep it for.